Oof. Let's end that. That got so loud. Okay. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? My name is Bear. I am barely watercoloring. So you know me, and the ones who don't know I exist. uh, how's everybody doing today? Oh, gosh, my mic is all turned around from when I was playing Zelda last week. Turn this a bit. Play nice. There we go. Yes, you're good. Okay, good. Oh man, what a weird last week it's been. I let's see, today is Monday. Last Monday I was playing The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword because I didn't really feel like painting because just work was just ugh. And then Thursday it hit even harder and I didn't feel like doing anything. So I just didn't. I did not. Didn't do a thing. And then Friday for work, it just slayed me. So I needed last week for me. Who knows how many more of those days may come. The project that we're working on goes until the end of September. So, but I think all the difficult part is done. I'm hoping from here it's just coasting. We'll see. We talked about it at work today, and it seems like we'll be able to manage it now that I did all the prep work to make it more automated and run more smoothly. It hopefully won't be too big of a burden daily. So we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I'm here. I've got my coffee. If you got it, cheers. Drink if you got it. What else has occurred? Oh, I just noticed I've got a spot of white paint on one of my brushes over here. The one I haven't used yet. Yep, that tells me I need to do what I said I was going to do. There, it kind of just came out. At some point, I need to figure out how am I at. Feels like that doesn't want to fit in there. How did I have that in there before? Oh, it's sharing. Sharing is caring. Okay, it's sharing in this one. Okay. Some point I need to figure out a painting shroud, a splatter guard to put up to like do like a cordon off my area kind of deal when I need to flick paint or do wacky brush on brush to get some stars and whatnot. It goes everywhere. Everywhere. Like as evidenced by just this brush alone that sits over here because I don't really have a spot big enough to slot it upright in my brush holder over here. It goes everywhere. Look at that. Look at that. It's starting to get on it completely. You can see clean, except for that one spot, and then just splattered from stars. So the stars go everywhere, like supernova. They just go everywhere and make a mess. So yes, I need to make some sort of spatter guard because everything I've got over here is covered in paint to some degree. Which, I mean, ultimately, I guess a little painting area should have evidence of what you do, but I don't want to make a total complete, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, where it's just spattered with color. I don't know. A mess? Yeah, a mess. That's what I was going to start with, and that's what I ended with, a mess. So I'm going to try not to make a mess constantly over here. Whenever I need to do some sort of messy work, I need to find some way to cordon off. What that will be that will still give me light and let it be on camera, I don't know, but we'll figure something out. See, it's even over here. You can barely see it, but it's everywhere. There's no way to get around it for now until I can find a way to cover, and then I'll have to keep it close. And man, my words are just gone today. Well, every day, but they're just really gone now. I don't know. As I get older, I feel like my use of the English language is just gone out the window. Anyway, let's look at something that we did over the weekend. In a rare bout of going out of the house, I was a tiny bit productive. We went to a park one day over the weekend, and we thought to for me to bring my some of my paint supplies with me so I can paint more out. And I thought that was a good idea. So I gathered up some of my goods and I went out, uh, just grabbed my clipboard, my silver grayish clipboard, my typical paint palette, and a couple slices of paper, some tape, a couple of my brushes, uh, some of these water containers filled up, and a couple little empty containers that I could use for rinse water. And I just put it in my backpack and we took off. Um, we ended up going to, I'm not going to say the park name because I guess I can. You already know I live in Washington. So we went to Lake Sammamish State Park. And while we were there, I picked a table, sat down at it. And for the briefest of moments, it was partially cloudy. And we had a nice cloud cover. And then the sun came out and it was like, burning the skin. So I could only sit in this spot for so long. And then we moved further back into the shade, directly into the path of someone's barbecue smoke. So, it was get burned or get smoked. But yeah, ended up making this. It's not great. I mean, it is what it is. The purpose of this was just to go out and get some fresh air. And while I was at it, get some painting practice in when I didn't have to be on camera for it. So yeah, just did this little abstract guy. You can tell what everything is for the most part. People with their little kayaks. And there. And over there. And the little buoys. And little swimming area on the beach. And some kids and people hanging out in the water and up on the edge. Some cinder blocks. Yes, there were cinder blocks there. I don't know why. It makes it look ghetto, but it was there, so I painted them in. And I'm not sure what this thing was. It was metal in like a Y shape. It had, I didn't paint it in here, but there were tiny little holes. There was one big hole here and one hole here. I don't know if it was for a cooking implement or a game or something that was just left there at some point, but I went ahead and painted it in and some little shadows and figments of plants and trees and houses that were on the other side of the lake, on this side over here. But this got me thinking, boy, I'm not really all that good at painting a lot of things, but water. And so today's stream was born, and maybe a whole lot of potential future streams. Almost definitely a bunch of future streams. So I realized that I could use like a boot camp in a way, like a back to basics kind of deal. So I am doing something I said a long time ago that I wanted to do, and that's give myself some training and practice while I learn. So my goal is to do just that. I'm going to look up one or two or a few different people or methods to paint the thing that I'm interested in that day or that week. And then we'll try it out and try it out again. And if needed, try it out again and again, and just practice to death, different methods for doing different things so that I can try to get some muscle memory for doing certain types of things so that when the day comes and I learn a good portion of the things, I can start merging some of them together to make a more cohesive thing and have a better idea of how those materials work in reality and how perspective works for those materials and how to get the right value and the right shadows and lighting and just get all the things right. Right. So the first thing I wanted to work on that's really, really difficult to do unless you have practiced it a lot is water. And that also made me think, hey, plenty of other elements out there. So I can have a water series for a good period of time. We can focus on different things like the ocean, rivers, lakes, whatever, glasses of water, ice, snow. I mean, just anything that constitutes that element and the different ways we can put it on paper, right? And then move on to different elements: earth, fire, wind, earth, go planet. Okay, only people that know the Planeteers but would know that. So yeah, that's my goal, at least for today. Definitely for future days as well, is try to get some time in playing with water. And like my title says, water, water everywhere, and I wouldn't dare drink any of it. It's the truth for watercoloring. I don't want to drink the water I'm making, and I sure as hell am not going to drink the rinse water when I'm done. So, yeah, I suppose we can get started. How is that going to work? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. By the way, this is the only water I'm willing to drink. Bean water. So what are we going to do? Well, I have to learn, don't I? And the only way to do that is to watch other people. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I have that unmuted, and I think this will play. Let me full screen, turn his volume down. So earlier I was looking at a couple potential training video type things. And the first one I found, I kind of like the guy. His video is quite loud, so I turned the volume down on the player. Hopefully it won't be deafening. But I liked his style, and he goes through 5 different water methods to paint water and watercolor. So I thought we could show that. So let me, I want to full screen it so much. I mean, I guess I can. Excuse me. Yeah, there we go. And then I think I've got this set where it'll pop up. Yep. Cool. Yeah, I've got it on screen, so it should be good to play. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Let me turn it down a bit just to make sure. I'll keep an eye on the levels. Looking at this, I realized that on stream, it looks like it's way darker than it is for me. Let me brighten this really quick, like, effects. No, not that one. Not 3D, color, goes, especially luminance. I think I might need to just add an effect and do it through there. Brightness and contrast. That's what I wanted. Let's try brightness up a little bit. Oh, that's already better. Maybe a tiny bit more. That looks a bit closer to what I'm seeing now. I think that is already better. Let me boost the contrast a tiny bit. And let's resume. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Well, that wasn't much, but it was a beginning, right? So let me turn that off. That is the first thing that we can try. And thankfully, it's very simple. Uh, we got some time until as 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and start getting some stuff together for that. Thankfully, that looks pretty simple. So we should be able to follow along with that pretty quickly. Don't mind me. I'm just drinking coffee in your ear. I hope you don't mind. All right. Let's get some supplies. First up, my clipboard. A handy dandy clipboard. Some paper. I'll go ahead and use Strathmore. Can I get this first piece out? Or I think I learned last time that it is heavily glued in place. And if I try to take it off, it's just going to take the cover of the paper with me. Yeah. Why they did it this way, I have no idea. I'll just get the next piece down. Gimme. Give me my... Okay. I think it's just going to come out. Really? Why did they design it like this? Is it meant to be a book that never gets taken apart? That seems silly. I mean, I guess. It's not truly like, I mean, I guess it is bound like a book. Well, you know what? I'll leave it in place. Will I paint on it like this? Oh God, who knows? It's got a softer texture on this side, a heavier texture on this side. Same here. Looks like they've done the same press, the same method on this. Wild that it's so radically different between types. Yeah, they glued it like all the way along the seam here, so it's not coming out. That's fine. It is what it is. Maybe we'll try it on this side. All right. I hate that idea. This bugs me. I don't like painting into books, but that's what they're there for. So many people are like, oh, I love that. And I'm sure it's great for some people. It just, it makes that part of my brain go, but we're going to try it anyway. Okay. Let's get my palette out. Use this one because I actually have French ultramarine in it. So let me get that together over here. I believe it's that one. Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. French ultramarine. It's this one. Sorry. This one is ultramarine deep. This one is French ultramarine. The French ultramarine is from Winsor Newton. The ultramarine deep next to it is from Mary Blue. And you can see the two colors right here. That's the French ultramarine that we're looking for to match that gentleman's color. So we're going to go with that. More examples too of the paint flicking going everywhere. I was not joking. It goes everywhere. All right, let's put that back. It's just going to go everywhere. I can't do this. I can't use this paper in this way. It's just not going to work for me. And I can't put it on my paper cutter because it's attached and it would leave too big of a gap. The only option I would have to cut it out would be to cut it out, like with an X-Acto, or to fold it in some way and tear it, but it's already there. I'd be better served cutting it out. And if I'm ever going to use it, that's probably my only option. So let's get a knife. Let's be dangerous. Tee. All right. So if I'm going to use a knife, I should probably put something under this so I don't cut more than I intend to. So I've got this backer from a previous pad of paper. The irony of this is more than you can imagine. I've got a self-healing cutting mat I've never used before that we just got a few weeks back over here to my right. I was thinking someday when we have bigger projects where we need to really scalpel out something with an X-Acto blade, I can finally bear down on something and not worry about cutting the stuff underneath it. I don't think this is enough of a project to do that. I think I'll just use this cardboard and be okay with it. So let me bend that back, put that in as close as I can, and I am going to just slice. It completely went out from underneath. So I could be cutting through to the stuff underneath it. That's okay. Nope, it did not. Great. And I've got a sheet of paper. Hooray! Is it perfect? Ooh, do I care? No. All right, let's put that back. Sure, all this is just for practice. The only reason I'm using this paper is because it's at least a little bit better quality. If I really want to use some scratch paper, I've got this stuff still. Lots and lots and lots of this paper thinner 5x7 paper. It's good for some minor things. I wouldn't trust anything too important, and especially not anything that's like a wash of water, because it'll probably curl up and disappear, fold in on itself and form a neutron star. But I've got it for smaller things, so I think it'll be all right. Put that back over here. And get this out of the way and get some tape. So we can tape it down and probably zoom in so it's easier for you guys to see. Scoot that over here. This is plenty. For what we're doing, what did he do? Let me bring that back up where I can see it. If I think he did horizontal landscape, landscape view. So yeah, you just stick with what he did. We're not going for perfection so much just yet. I think we're just trying to see if we can get the general idea. Move my little painting from the weekend over here. I've got a bunch of paper towel left over from then too. Come on, Mike, get up out of my way. Mike. All right. This is way more than I need to use right now. I don't want to burn through all of it so quickly. All right. I'll fold this up and put it under our palette. To help hold it down. Let me go ahead and spray the palette, get everything rehydrated a bit, and then I'll finish sweeping. Especially getting the blues, since I'm going to be using mostly that today. Right. All right. And then let's do the right side. Sure. Okay. And get the top. All right. And here we go. No. Do what I want, not what I do. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I want. All right. Flex. All right. Put the last bit down. There we go. All right. Well, let me go back and skim through his video really quick. Okay. That's literally all he does. All right, so let's take a look. Yeah, and 5 minutes? Okay, we got time. Uh, I never use my mop brush because every time I get water in it, it feels like it just shrinks into nothing. But let's do it for fun because he says we can, right? And we'll go ahead and get this is the closest thing I've got to the brush that he was mentioning. I don't really have a good flat brush that's narrow. I guess, well, I mean, I don't want to lie. I technically have this. This would work. I've got this petal brush or Bloom's brush. It's got a thin edge on the top of it. I should be able to get some nice streaks with this. I might use this. The handle's long, but I'll just hold it closer to it. Let's try the mop brush. See what that does. We're totally can just use a mop brush and just use that to blot this water on. Hey, okay. Okay, let me not be silly about it. It works really nicely, actually. Of course, some dog hair found its way in there because why the hell not? That's okay. It's practice. We don't care. Yeah. See, when this brush gets wet, it turns into this, and that just bugs me because it doesn't feel like it looks like a mop brush anymore. It just clumps together. But I'm sure once it's on paper, it works fine. It looked fine when I used it, so I'm just gonna let it slide. Let me move it to the side. And let's get some color together. Go ahead and make a little spot for it over here and just sop this up. I mostly used it over the weekend, so I can get the rest of this out, or at least a good portion of it, so it's not quite so dark over here. Marple Turkey would be like, what a clean palette. And I would be like, shut up. All right, let's get some of this French ultramarine going. Okay. My paper still looks nice and sopping wet. Let me get a little bit more water in there. Okay. And a little bit more paint. Whoops. All right. So he just did a wash, working all the way up. So that's fun. Let's do that, right? So let's go ahead and start with it darker on the bottom. Okay. That's blue, all right. And let's get it a little bit darker. Excuse me. Okay. So he said thicker and further apart on the bottom. Dry off some of the color and get it narrower and closer together the further up the page we go to show perspective. So let's give that a shot. And then the question is going to be, does it look anything like what his does when it dries? And if not, what did I do wrong? And then I get to do it again. I'm not seeing too much of the same thing going on, probably because my base layer was not as thick as I wanted it to be. So I'm probably going to need to do another instance of this and darken the color up a good bit more. That and it's spread out weirdly vertically on the paper. So not quite doing the same thing that his was. So yeah, we'll probably try it again here in a minute. Because yeah, instead it looks like, well, I don't have an app description for what it looks like. So we'll see. Let me clean this out. I'll get some paper ready and we'll try again here in a minute when this dries. Done. Sure. All right. Welcome back if you had to suffer through ads. Yeah, this came out like a hot pile of garbage or a cold, wet pile of garbage because it's supposed to be water. Clearly not thrilled with how it came out, so I'm going to try again. Let me heal this up. That's still a little bit wet. It formed a little puddle. I mean, get that in the trash. You know, and, like tape, it sticks to your fingers. Let go! Let my fingers free. Come on. There we go. All right. Didn't get any paint on me. Darn. I'll try again next time. Oh, no. Doesn't mean this goes in the trash. It just means that I save it for the future. It might be reusable. It might be only useful as a lesson. It could be something amazing in the future. I don't know. So I'll just set this to the side and add it to the pile of random BS that I've made. Let's try that again. New sheet. Blaster taping this down really quick so we can move on. And we're going to try this again. Bigger, bolder. Tape. All right. Next. All right. Am I going to figure out even one method for doing water before the end of tonight? That remains to be seen. But this is why I'm doing this. Whole purpose is to learn. Sure as hell not coming into this with like years of knowledge or anything. A year of knowledge, not years of knowledge. Unlike the exhausted freshman at the end of his year, just like, I am tired and feel like I've learned nothing, and I have 3 more years of this shit. Yep. If you're lucky. That's close enough. All right, so we're gonna do this nice and quick. So we've got the mop brush, totally ugly. Oh, I'm supposed to use totally clean water, but this is close enough. Let's mop this puppy down. Go back over it. Try to even out some of that water. All right. Dry it off a little bit. Set it to the side. All right. Let's try this again, but better. All right. So I'm going to start with it being a good bit darker. I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way up. Already feels totally wrong. Like, totally doesn't feel the same darkness that his was. He was like 60% paint, 40% water. I got news for you, Broheim. The paint is a solid because it has dried. So how much of this am I going to truly get up and get in here? That might be a little better. All right, so for that little dot right there, I have a lot because the paper is rising up. Yeah, okay. It is rising in the middle and it is pooling along the edges of the paper. So I now need to sacrifice some paper towel or kitchen roll or bog roll or no, not bog roll, that's toilet paper. Kitchen roll. And sop up some of this. Hey guys. Let's try to get some of that right there. Come on. Just a little. I don't want it to be so much of a puddle. A little bit is okay, but it will never dry evenly. All right. And maybe we try here. How you doing today, goddess? I'm glad to be back in painting. Oh, you weren't here. You get to see what I did over the weekend. Let me finish slopping this up and let it settle for a minute. Come on. No, that's about as good as that's going to get. All right. I don't want to mess it up too much. Let me set this. Yeah, up here to dry. Take a look at what I did over the weekend. I went to the park nearby. Well, down the road. It's a good ways down the road, actually. Lake Sammamish State Park. And while we were there, I brought my paint stuff with me and painted to this little scene. Little beach scene. It's not great. I like most of it. I'm not proud of the water, which is why I'm doing like a day of trying to train myself on how to paint water, which is going splendidly. And let me tell you, and the bit back here is really abstract because it's one, it's in the distance. Two, I didn't really do a great job and spend time on making it look realistic. But there's houses back there with some greenish in front and some pine trees and everything behind it. It started going up a mountain behind it. But I didn't really care about this too much. It was just backdrop. Some like little kayaks, people sitting in them, some buoys, it's a little swimming area. There were some teenagers swimming over here and some people on the water, some cinder block, whatever the hell this Y-shaped metal thing was that I found. Yeah, it came out okay. But yeah, it was just a random, it was like ended up being like 90 minutes, I think, that we hung out. Sun came out, started burning, went to the shade, got right into the path of somebody's barbecue smoke. So it was just like, okay, well, let's get this done and GTFO. And we did. For the water that we're doing here, I tried one earlier. I didn't really get it dark enough. Wasn't happy with it. And it was so wet that it spread out horizontally and vertically in like weird spidery fashion. So it didn't really like spread out like waves. We're going off of a video tutorial online. We're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try to, while this is still fairly wet, add the next bit in. He just some large, fatter streaks on the bottom. And some thinner ones as he started going up the page. And he got them closer together. So a little bit better. And that's really about all he did. He kind of stopped there. He did do it while it was very much still wet, and I think it started drying here in the middle. Because you know me, I jibber jabber. I was jibber jabbering. I'll go back to the video here in a second so you can see. A lot of the light you see is glare, like right over here under my hand. We'll dry it off and we'll see how it comes out. And while I'm drawing, I'll put the video on top. Yeah, so clearly you can see that it didn't quite come out the same way his did. But that's okay. Because we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again until we get it right. Well, we're going to do it again until I get it right. I'm going to do it again until I get it right. We might be here all night on just this one. Let's try again. I might skip untaping it down and just use the cheaper paper because I'm going to be going through tape and good paper if I go through a whole bunch of these like this. Alternatively, I could still use nice paper to just use a bigger piece of it and tape it into like quadrants and practice multiple times on the same sheet. That might be smarter. We'll see. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. 1, 2. So too wet and faint. Good on the color, bad on how dry it became in the middle. Like it dried when I went to add to it, so not quite good. So let's go for another attempt. Maybe we do what I said and grab a bigger sheet of paper and just break it into sections. Unsheath? Yes. It's always so loud when I rip that off. Grab your paper and rip the knob off. Okay. Sweep that over there. Grab some tape. Ah! I've already taped the tape to the tape. All right. How many times can Bear say tape in one sentence? Tape to tape, tape, tape. All right. Get down there. Go. Do what you're doing. Okay. All right. Next. Whoop. Nope. Let's do one down the side. Ack! Ack! Ah! All right. I'm fighting with my tape. Ah! All right. One day, I promise you, my noises I make when I'm pulling off tape will not be in vain. I do it as a vocal preventative measure so I don't go to rip tape and smack myself in the face with a roll when I let go. Because I'm almost definitely guaranteed to do that. All right. Let's hit the bottom of the paper. Just let go. All right. Oh my heck. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. What is it going to be? Fine? Yes, it's going to be fine. All right. Let's get another big bit here. Okay. Recently, when I try to learn how to do something and then I try to put it into practice, I have been failing miserably for some reason. And let me tell you, I can't begin to tell you how disheartening that is to me. I know it shouldn't be. I mean, you can't help human nature. You want to do something right, you do it wrong, you get disappointed, you get over it. And I do. I do get over it pretty quickly. I'm not the kind of person that holds on to that kind of stuff too long. But I do feel it. And yeah. Sometimes when I fail, I feel. Let's grab some thinner tape and let's just break this into sections. So yeah, when I fail at these kinds of things, it partially is a go back out there and try it again sport. And then the other half of it is, you suck. What do you think you're doing trying to paint? You're a fool. And then there's the other part of me that's like, shut up, you don't know me. And then there's the part of me that's like, just go back out there and try it again. You'll do great. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of bears inside of me trying to get out. Let's do this one. I'm not trying to measure this. I'm just getting it vaguely in the middle. Down. All right, let me raise this up to be zoomed in. I am zoomed in a little bit. We still want to be zoomed in, but not all the way. All right. Especially since they're going to be on a giant piece of paper here. I think I'm going to turn this. Let's get this last bit on and we'll see what I mean. Yeah, that'll work. Get on here. All right. Okay. Tape down hard. All right. I'm going to turn this way. So I've got a bunch of like landscape oriented sections here. We can try it again. All right. Did I just do a Picard impression? If I did, it was 100% completely accidental. If I wanted to do a Picard impression, I would. But I'm not going to just yet. Maybe at some point. I want to say weirdly I took 2 years of French in high school and I never use it. But even if it was Picard, I wouldn't really be using it because he's British. And he had a British accent. Weird they never talked about that. Literally, he has a British accent because of who he is, but speaks French on the show when he needs to. Like, it's just the weirdest. I don't know. It's just weird. I'll just call it that. All right. Maybe the mop brush is, maybe I'm putting too much water down. That could be part of my problem. Let's even it out. And I'll try to pick up some of the extra water. All right. I will let that sit for just a minute. You took 4 years of French in high school. What were your grades, though? I passed both years with a 71.5. I remembered that because I barely passed. So for us, where I grew up in Georgia, C was passing grade. Anything under that was a fail. And they'd only changed that a couple years before. Apparently, D used to be passing grades. You could be like a 60 or above. I was very much just barely passing that class both years. Mostly because I didn't care. Because, stupid kid. You just don't know. I said, that's not weird. In Europe, those countries are the size of our states. It's like moving from one state to another. True for size, but I don't know. Maybe it just felt weird to me because there was limited accents in the world, Eh, it's just you expect when someone is French, they're very French. When someone is British, they're very British. Like you don't expect there to be British French. When clearly there is. I don't know. All right, so let's go back into this and try again. Try to see if we can do a tiny bit better. It's so light. Try again. Okay, well, it's just gonna not want to work. So let's just try. Work our way up. And go fainter as we go up. And we're just gonna go with that. All right. And let's get some darker. And you said, lol, are you kidding? You think I remember that far back? Just shut up. You're not that old, hon. It's not like we're talking about like back in the 1920s, the roaring 20s, not that old. All right. Let's get a nice big swash of that across. And let's take some off. And let's do some narrower ones. And start getting them a little closer together. Okay, that's better. I'm happier with that. Can't really see it too much from zoom in. Zoom enhance. Most of it is reflective from the light being directly above where the camera is. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's probably the best I'm gonna get. Dude, that was in the 70s. I mean, still, who cares? I am a firm believer in you're only as old as you feel. But I have to say, though, you're right, though. When it comes to like remembering your past, I mean, I, I, I vaguely, no, I mean, I remember pieces. I don't remember all of it. I mean, who does? Some people, but I've never been great at remembering very long periods of my life. I remember like well, I just flicked water over there. I remember like the highlight reel, right? Like if something of great importance happens, or like you just hit an age where you turn on, as they say nowadays, and you just suddenly remember stuff greater. I feel like that never happens sometimes. Sometimes I remember pieces of elementary school. I remember pieces of middle school. I remember only slightly more pieces of high school. I remember pieces of college. Like I never really hold on like long-term memory to everything. But if you ask me like, do you remember in school when you learned about so and so? 50% of the time I might remember it. Maybe if I'm lucky. But I mean, I don't really remember. You said, no, I'm fine with it. I'm just saying I don't remember. Yes, agreed. Yes, everything that was super fun, or super traumatic, that's what we remember. Yeah, it's truly the case. If only well, okay. So if you had like a photographic or eidetic memory and you remembered everything you came across, all the events that occur in your life, you've got like a solid total recall of those events. Do you think you'd like that? Like, since we don't have that, most of us, do you wish you had it? Like, would it be a burden to have that much knowledge built into you that you just keep in your brain all the time? Or do you wish you could remember that much information? I think that's really tough to consider because, I mean, in some situations, having that much memory recall would be a gift. But yes, exactly. No, man, that sounds exhausting. It would be too much to keep track of in your mind. Like we're not built to be able to have that much information in our heads at all times. Give me a large dark amount of this freaking French ultramarine because I want to get some solid color. Thank you. God damn. It's a little bit much, but that might have been too much. I was like, give me more. Okay, fine, fucker, here you go. It just gave me all of it. Uh, and now I have none because, I taunted it and it's like, all right, here you go. Here you go. Here you go, sucker. What a loser you are. You can't do anything right. All right. All right. It's fine. We're just doing a bunch of the same thing over and over to try to improve upon it. And this is the simplest one that he's got. The simplest one. It gets worse. Better? It gets better. But holy hell. I'm just going to go all the way across because I'm going to be doing this quick anyway. Okay. I am HSP, which means often I do have too much information being taken in and it's exhausting. If I remember that all the time, it would be, wait, if I remembered that all the time, it would be too much. It's one of the reasons I'm such a homebody now. I get you. I'm just because it gets exhausting absorbing everybody else's shit, right? I get that. Okay, so I used to be, in my mind anyway, I used to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Empathic, right? Like everything that goes on with people around me, I feel I care about. Um, but you hit a point where you have to start turning that bit of you off because it's too much to deal with other people's shit when you've got your own to worry about, right? Doesn't mean I stopped caring about people. It doesn't mean that I stopped feeling empathic. For my personal knowledge and taste, I had to turn all of that off. You know, it's not like it's a switch I can just turn off, but being able to care more about me and care less about others in certain scenarios is important. Doesn't mean I'm an ass. It doesn't mean I try to be an ass. Doesn't mean I want to be one. It just means, you know, you've gotta tend to your own before you worry about others sometimes. You know, it's no good if you wear yourself out taking care of other people or worrying about what other people think or how other people are, how they act. And then when it comes time to worry about yourself, you're already too drained to notice or care or do anything about yourself. You know? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just yammering about not the same topic. Oh, you know, I should be doing this more like overlapping in sections. Yeah. All right. Let's make this. Whoa. A thing happened. You just redeemed hydrate. Oh, you know what? I forgot that was a thing. I'm going to hydrate using my coffee. Thank you. No, that's just self-care. Oh, thank you. Thank you all. It's so sweet. I appreciate it so much. Ew, that's an ugly voice. I'm not going to do that again. Um, yeah, it's just life. I mean, some people absorb too much. Some people don't absorb any, and they're completely sociopathic, and they just have no care or regard for people around them at all. Who does that remind you of? Who's at the top of the chain in our country right now? Okay, I'm going to shut up. Let me try to darken this up a good bit more. Probably have to end up putting more French ultramarine in here later. Pull it up. I need to top up a lot of the ones that are low. All right. Let's try to make this dark. Ooh, that's dark. Darker. Okay. And then let's send that out a little bit and work our way up a little bit more. Okay. And get the last bit a little bit centered. Come back here, you. Nobody wants your giant puddle of dark French ultramarine over here. Ah. Okay. Let's go stupid dark. We're turning up our brush. All right. Meow. 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 Just kind of going crazy. So, you know, I need to do like a more of a crisscross kind of deal. That might be. All right. Well, that just pooled right there because the paper curled up and that's where it decided to go. So I don't know that I can get much of that up, but I can try to soak up some of it. Get over here. We want your color. We just don't want all of it. Not all at once. Not the whole page. I'm gonna just take up some of it. Okay. Rinse. You like the top right one the best. Oh, I don't think hydrate means what you think it means. Well, I know it's supposed to be water, but there's water in coffee, so man. I could keep a water bottle next to me, but you know. If I didn't keep water next to me and somebody redeemed hydrate, I'd have to be like, okay, hang on, let me get up off my ass and go get some water from the water from the kitchen, which I can do. Okay, this is starting to get too much here. Let's offload this and get a fresh paper towel, or at least this partial one that I've got going. That other one was getting sopping wet. Is that right one? Yeah, it kind of looks the best already. Yeah, they're all kind of okay in their own way. But yeah, I think that one is kind of the best. So really it's like mid strength paint. Let the water settle for a minute before I hit it, so that it's got a moment to sink in. That was drying. That's why that got such a hard line on it right there. It's fine. Nope. I was gonna say, maybe I can soften it by just going over it with this damp brush. Yeah, that kind of took care of that. Yeah. All right, there. I was like, all right. Let's dry all this off really quick so we can move on to another sheet here in a minute. Oh no, ads. Excuse me. They all look like water. I like the bottom left one too. I actually don't mind it. I mind the dips of the paper where it's pulling because it feels like organic natural water flow. Oh, I get you. Yeah. Especially for like the big wavy areas. That makes some sense. I'm kind of more interested in his other water tutorials. We'll look at that in a sec. You didn't get to see the video too much, but I'll show the next one. How far are we getting it? Who knows? Taking me dry. It's getting there. Ads are almost up. All right, that's good enough. Let's peel. Hopefully this doesn't stick too bad. All right. Side one here. Let go my turbo. See, pressing down on that does a really good job. Sometimes. What was the next one I did? I think the side one. Give me back my finger. There we go. And I think that's this one. Oh, no, that was the first one I did. Yeah, that's fine. It'll just bring this with it. Or not. Okay. And there you go. And when it peels off, it actually looks really nice. Like most things. It looks like hot garbage, and you peel it, and it's like, oh, it's nice. Not, I don't know what happened here, but four quadrants of mostly water. All right, move that to the side. Let's pull up the video and let's resume it where we left off. Mind your ears. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let me bring it up and let me get it full screen. All right. Oh no, an ad. We don't like ads. Get out of here. All right. Oh, that wasn't a me ad, Goddess. That was a me ad. Like it was in my YouTube video that I was playing back. I'm looking at this through my barely watercoloring YouTube account, which doesn't have the YouTube Premium, so that's why. I know, right? It's just that easy. Yeah, right? So stop. Let's go back. Maybe not that far. Yeah, like that. Okay. So let's save that and we'll come back to it. So yeah, yeah, we can do this. Um, Going back to what you said, I saw you said, "Ooh, I have a great idea for a new product: watercolor paper with a sticky backing, so you can stick it to your mat board or something, and it won't ever warp." I like where you're going. I have a fear. Anything that is strong enough to hold paper down that wants to warp is not going to come back up again when you're ready for it to come off of it. I imagine. I think the painter's tape works because it sticks to both the paper and the thing behind it. But I don't know. Oh, it's not meant to come back up again? I think, don't they have stuff like that already? You can get like boards, like you can get like cardboard or like a backing mat that you can get paper already like stuck to, or you could technically make your own. They make a product, I think it's called Gesso. I think that's what I found. Um, but it's a product that you can paint this white absorbent material onto any surface and it becomes something you can watercolor on, which sounds fascinating. Yeah, look that up when you got some time. I think it's called Gesso. But it is shocking looking. Like it's a huge bin of it that you get, a huge can, like a quart paint can or something like that, I think. And yeah, you just paint it onto any surface, wood, metal, whatever you want it to be, let it dry. You may have to do another coat of it. And then you can paint on it. Watercolor paint, which is just weird to my brain. But you could kind of do something like that where you have like a backing that you like that's flat and rectangular or square or round or triangular, whatever shape you want it to be, and paint that material on it. And then you don't have to worry about tape at all. It's just on the thing, which sounds interesting. Yes. Yeah. So well, I don't know if it's the same product. Let's, whoa. I clicked and dragged and I didn't mean to click and drag. Spell water. I'm doing this with one hand for water. Uh, uh, no, don't you tell me that. I've found it. Uh, yes, there is a specific watercolor ground that makes surfaces like canvas more paper-like and receptive to watercolor. The watercolor is not going to behave on gesso the same as on paper, though. Gesso is not a good fit for it. So maybe it's not called gesso. Maybe there's another name. I don't remember where I saw it. Yeah, I don't think it's gesso. It might have been something else. I'll have to find it. Someday I'll come across it again. I don't even remember where I saw it. I don't remember if it was on Amazon. It might have been. I don't know. If I come across it again, I'll save it and I'll show it in the future stream. Or we just do some Googling and we find it ourselves at some point, right? Okay. We get my fingers under that. There we go. And zoom back out. Whoa. Whoa. Huh. Huh. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, let's get another full sheet of paper, and we're gonna try that last one. Oh, what fools I am. Fool. Is it drying? It's starting to. No, it's not. It's very, very wet still. Just try to get a lot of the water out of this mop brush because I don't know that I'm going to be using it again today. And it bounces back once it dries, so that's not too bad. It got fluffy again pretty quick. I was worried about it. It's also pronounced gesso. Is it really? Just I don't know why that makes it sound kind of Italian. Maybe it is. Gesso. No, I mean anything sounds Italian if you fake a terrible Italian accent on it. All right. Gesso, really? I guess I've never heard it said. I think I've just read it, and it makes you kind of assume, how it looks. Let's grab another sheet. One sheet. So I'm sorry, Comet. She heard it, and I think he started barking a little. I don't know if it was from that or something else. All right. Let's tape this one down, and this is going to take a little while, so this one we'll spend a little more time on, I think, trying to get it right. Is that long enough? I don't think I pulled off enough tape. Oh my god! Sometimes. No, that's not long enough. Fine. I got plenty. I don't care. Deal with it. Longer than you need. All right. Let's get that. All right. Where? Gesso. You know how many words like that you grow up with, like hearing, or maybe not hearing, but reading, and you get the name completely wrong? Like people's names that are like pronounced a very particular way. Like, oh, okay. So the reason I said that, there's like a name when I was a kid that was in a book, and I'd never heard the person's name in reality, like anyone named this. But in the book, I saw it and thought, oh, it must be pronounced like that. Is Penelope. Because when you're a kid and you have never heard anyone say that name before and you read it, it looks like Penelope. And I thought, what a stupid name, Penelope. Okay, well, whatever. And then years later, it's like heard someone be called Penelope, and it clicked. I'm like, Penelope. It's Penelope. And like it suddenly made sense, clearly. But I mean, if you're not like raised hearing the word be spoken and you only ever read it, you don't know how it sounds. It happens a lot. Well, I mean, not a lot, but it happens enough. It doesn't really happen anymore because I think I've gotten to the point where most things I kind of know what they are, at least in like common vernacular. But Gesso being Gesso was not on my bingo card for the year. I didn't realize that was going to be wrong. It's okay. I'm happy to learn. All right. So we need to make a upper portion to be able to reflect. So methinks I'm going for another brush. Let's go big boy round brush, size 16. I'm going to go with that guy today. All for this. You focus? There we go. Use a Princeton Heritage size 16 round. I like these. I saw them. What's her name? Jenna Rainey was using them, but it was just because I wanted to get a brush that a professional suggested, and I really like the line. I love the color, the red color of the handle. So I just kind of stuck with it and got a bunch of the same lineup over there. Will I get more of them in the future? I don't know. If they're on sale, maybe, but they were kind of expensive, and I intended to get them to use for a very long time and try to take care of them. So hopefully they will be around for a very, very long time. All right. Let's make some trees. Let me make have yellowish green. Boy, that just sucked up everything that was in it. There you go. And let's just make some colors in there. I need to clean my rinse water here in a minute. Might have gotten some green in that and gotten it kind of greenish, so we'll just use that to our advantage and just add some yellow in there. Not going for perfection, going for reflection. Ha! All right, that was mine. Whoa. Well, that was ugly. Oh, what is that? Oh, that came from a tree when I was out at the park. Oh, that's fun. Something from the tree fell down in my paint palette. One of those like little like tree, like little crispy bits. Oh, that's fun. Hopefully nothing else fell in it. Okay. And it's has our greenish color going on. And then yeah. Right. Get some of this dirty looking color. Right. I didn't really notice. Did he have any blue in this guy? Oh, you did a little bit. Let's do it. Not a lot. Let's just get a hit of it in there. Yeah. Let's dry that off. That doesn't really look great. Now that I look at it again. Okay. Let's try that off. Okay, he didn't do it, but I am going to throw a little bit of some chunkiness in there. Yes, I have one of those names. Very rarely pronounced correctly. Very. Yeah, I get it. Thankfully, my name is kind of boring, so that is very, very common. People misspell it all the time, but it's pretty. That's pretty straightforward. Mm. Oh, nope. That's way too much liquid. I really want to get the hell out of that. I can pull that back up in. Yeah, mostly. Oh, what happened there? I was just like, let's do it. It was very, very wet and it did not work. Let's try it on this one. Not a little better. Maybe leave it alone. Okay, I'll leave it alone. Uh, and now the next bit. Let's get some more aqua. Give me more. I need more. Please. Two paths to the side. Thought I was done with my mop brush, but no. Fate had other plans. All right, let's go. Okay. All right. Here we go. There's a hair on there. Get out of here. Go away. Stop it. We don't want to hear. Stop. Okay. I'm gonna let that sit and do its thing for a minute, and then we'll properly dry it the rest of the way. I am gonna be right back. I'm gonna make some coffee. See you in a minute. Ads are actually going to start in 4 minutes. Maybe I can just fire them off now. It says running 3 minutes of ads manually will remove the upcoming auto. Well, here comes 3 minutes of ads. Be right back.
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula. Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula. Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula. Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, This mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula. Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula. Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first.
Coffee first. All right. Speak of the devil. Coffee first. I wish you could see this. I mean, it is what it is, but it's latte macchiato. My coffee machine can make those. The foam. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it right there where it does like the color gradient on the side. So good. Oh, taste. Take a little cloud of oat milk marshmallow on top of it. So good. All right. Let's dry this. All right. Macchio. Yes, so good. One of the benefits of my job is just nice to have a good coffee machine at the end of the day. Though I have to admit, when they changed Janeway's fave drink to coffee, wait, to coffee? Oh, you mean like from the pilot? The unaired pilot? Well, yeah, it must have been that one lady that quit or whatever. I can't remember her name, but they like filmed the entire episode with her and then she quit. And it's like, well, we need to rename her or redo her parts. Wait, did they really? When? Did she do veggie broth in the first season? Am I forgetting this? All I remember is coffee drinking Janeway when they started out. Did she do vegetable broth? Maybe. I don't ever remember her tearing into like a ham or anything. So she might have stayed vegetarian. I really don't know if she ever ate meat. But I mean, coffee's not like non-vegetarian, right? It's a plant. Yeah, I don't remember her ever eating meat. I mean, you don't often, well, I can't say you don't see people eat. Oh. Well, I mean, there's a lot you have to put up with for diplomacy. One day they'll bring a vegetarian captain back. I am sure. How did he do this again? Okay, so he used a narrower brush than I was going to use. Let me switch to a thinner brush. Maybe we go to this guy. Let's see, 10, 12. It's a little bit smaller. What's the point go to? Oh, I feel like that's not a great plan. Maybe we go one size smaller. That might be okay. It goes from a 12 to a 6. That might be too small. If I use just the tip of the brush, I should be fine. If anything, I'll switch to this. Weirdly, I think I remember him saying that he used a size 10 brush, which I don't have. That would be right between these two. I think maybe I can fake it. Maybe I do the size 12 to start with the bigger bits down here and just use the tip of the brush, and then I'll switch to the smaller brush for the thinner bits up top. I'm scared. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Because I said so. Okay. So okay. It's going to go out. Okay, so he didn't stay zoomed back. Maybe I can go to the bottom of the page when he's starting and show how he does it. Okay, so he just hits it with a darker color. Not too darker, but darker. He goes up the page, gets thinner and lighter as he goes up the page. And then he doesn't go all the way up to the top. He stops about here and doesn't do anything in the lighter bit right here. He does dark and thicker bits down the bottom, thinner and lighter as he works his way up, really light up here and nothing in this section. And then when he goes back over it with the shadow bit, he fills it in mostly with the tree colors here, and then goes over some of the lines where it starts to overlap. Okay, so let's start with the first bit and do just the blue on the bottom. Okay. Whew. All right, let's get some of this. Let's add some more liquid over here. And get some more of the French ultramarine into it. Okay. There we go. And he just kind of goes for it, and he does like a lot of back and forth, just slipping and hitting the tip of it. So of course, it's kind of terrifying because the paper is still a little curled. It's kind of naturally fading just because the paint is running out on the brush. And I'm kind of okay with that. We did a little bit more in here. Can I do this without messing it up? Let's find out. I'm going to stop there before I mess something up. Okay. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be alright. Alright. Joy. All right. Whoop. Let's get some of the greenage on here now. I was going to switch to the center brush up there, and I didn't end up using it. So let's put it up. You can go here. Might use it in a minute for the upper bit of this. All right. So let's get some greenage. We should have some of the yellowish that we did. And just get some up in here. And that little bit right there. And that little bit right there. And then let's get some of our green. There. And up in here somewhere. Doesn't have to be perfect. There and there. All right. Let's get some of our green gold. Get some of it. That was actually not green gold over there. Okay. Not the same color. Do I care? No. Yes, but no. And oh, it's so bad. That sounds gross. I'm sorry, I did not mean for it to say that. It's okay. It can spread out. It's just colors. But they're starting to spread in weird ways. So maybe we get them mixing in with the colors around them. And maybe we hit a darker green in some of the areas up here where it kind of was that color. Okay, let's go back and see what his looked like. Very much not this, but We got this. He somehow made magic happen because he's perfect in every way, right? And so that was something I've not done yet, is get similar colors to start doing this sort of dealio where they're here, but they're also going doing the same thing as these were somehow through magic and special superpowers and thing. Look, we're doing some of the screen now. Let's do that over here because why not? It's generally in the vicinity where this stuff was that he was doing. Oh God, I suck. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm sorry, that's ugly. Oh, that's ugly. How I love and hate when the person that you watch is so good at what they do, and then you come along to try to replicate what they're doing, and they do a tutorial like, oh, you just do this and this, and yours will look as perfect as mine does. Whoops, by the way, I've only been doing this for 25 years and have tons of practice and time and proven art and skill doing this. You don't, but that's okay. You can do it too. It's easy. Buy my book. It's just never quite the same thing. Never quite the same. But that's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine, right? We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Just do it. So all you have to do is just do it, right? Just do the thing. Probably need to dry this. Don't hate yourself, Bear. It's part of the process. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be funny. Everything's gonna be fine. It's just fine. Just do the thing. It'll be fine. Everything's great. Just do a little bit of this, and do a little bit of that over there, and then some goes in here, and that makes it look exactly like it does in the guy's video, right? It'll be fine. It's fine. What are you bitching about? It'll be fine. You just have to just do it. Just get good, bitch. It'll be fine. Fine. It's ugly, I know. My words are ugly. The voice is ugly. It is what it is. Shall we tear it up and do it again? Not today. It's I really need to work on reflections. I don't know how he did it. His is magical. Mine is like, what? Like, I need to work on just the reflection part and don't worry about the thing above it. Just make it a convincing reflection, and then I can paint the thing above it, and then one day I'll be able to do the reverse like everybody else seems to do. Like, he did it, and it looks great. I'm doing it, and it looks like, whatever. Yeah, just do it. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Why do you make a big deal? You just do it, and it's good, right? You profit from it. No, it was like hot garbage. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. The bottom part's good. The tree's kind of okay. This reflection part, I royally hosed up. I fucked that up. Like, really not great. So, and it's even curling up. It hates it so much it doesn't even want to be on the board anymore. Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to dry this off. Okay. Always dry off your paintings before you put them in the trash. All right. So I'm just going to peel this up, tape and all. And I'm going to move it to the side over here. And we're not going to talk about it. Instead, let's pull out some of this throwaway paper. Oops, I just bonked right into the mic. I'm sure you love that. Sorry about that. Okay. So if we're going to take just one of these, we are going to blitz through what we just did. I am literally just, I should have wet the paper first. Just going to do this deal. And go up this, and thin it out a little bit more. We're just going to go all the way up to here. Right. It's already time for another paper towel. Let's get that. Let's get that and put it here. Yeah, this cheap paper is so thin, it curls immediately. See if we can straighten it back out. Up. All right, let's get our thinner brush back out. Let's get some more of our French ultramarine out. Darken this up a little bit. And let's right. And then let's pretend we want to make ourselves a brownish green color. Brownish green. Go over here with some of that. And over here. All right. And pick up some of this green, the bright, vibrant one, and mix it with that. Sure. We got ourselves a nice dark color. Right. Oh, we got some muddy looking brown color. Oh, we've got some greenish color over here too. Oh, let's get some of this bright one over here and mix some of that in and do some of that over here. That's going so well. And then some more of this and put it over here. And it's really murky looking, but it's fine. My God, why am I acting like this? I'm sorry. I'm just being like really pissy. I'll stop. I think, like everything in this world, it's just going to take a absolutely tremendous amount of practice and time on my part to try to find a way to just do the same thing over and over and over and just practice and practice and practice some more. It'll be fine. Don't despair yourself. Everything's going to be all right. And then we dry it. Yeah. Gotta said, you are being very pissy, but it's entertaining. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad. I'm just being myself, as pissy as I am about this right now. It's gonna be okay. Get some Payne's gray into some of this brown and get it kind of a darker color. I'm just gonna try to do just the tiniest little like thin little bits of a scribble like he did. And don't go wildly like outside the bounds too much. I guess kind of do like you do when you're doing like a really like low res evergreen. You know what I mean? Where just like the little bits of boughs and all that, and you do like back and forth around that. Like a kind of like a zigzag. Is it great? No. Is it better? Maybe. And then I try to get some little bits of it out to the sides as well. Okay. And maybe we thin it a tiny bit. And do just a little bit of some that are kind of like a grayish color. And then the question becomes, what is this reflecting? Right? Like what could be above this? That's like, ooh, it looks so similar and so good that, it must be an exact reflection. Like you've got to have the colors like ready to go to know like what was on top, what was on bottom. Clearly not this. And then find some way to bring it back from the brink and make it look somewhat presentable somehow. Like, I don't know, like the magic of doing living things in paint form is lost on me sometimes. Like sometimes, I mean, part of it is me, I'm rushing it, and rushing it never gets anything really nice. done. Like you can't. I mean, you can. When you know what you're doing, I think you can abstract plant life. I cannot abstract plant life. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing there. Oh yeah, that just made it so much better. Not at all. Do 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 do. I don't know what I'm doing. Is it a tree? We don't know. When will he stop? We don't know. Look out. He's barely watercoloring. Okay, I'm writing my own terrible theme songs now. Oh, maybe I can do something here. Take some of this stuff, shove it up my rear. It really sucks. What a surprise. I can't paint. I don't have the eyes. Look down. He's barely watercoloring. All right. It's a. Yeah. All right. Let's get some semblance of color up here on the top. Same as the other one. Just kind of fake it to make it. All right, well, something's happening up there. It's mildly better than it was. Only a tiny bit. A hair, a fraction, a skosh. I mean, it's mildly better. Like, if I wanted to make this better now, I could probably do some darker stuff on it. You get dark? Oh my god. All right. It's gonna be fine. I will get better with time and practice. Is that time now? No, but it's just beginning. Okay, stop singing. Nobody wants to hear you sing. It's not great. It's rehashed marble. Nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear the original. Yeah, you know what I could do? Make these darker so that I'm reflecting something truly dark and hateful, like my soul. It's not wet enough. Get in there. Get in there. Make it dark. Make it hateful. Make it ruinous. Make it not be pleasant to look at. Make it be hideous. Really get in there. Really hate yourself. Hate your work. You're garbage. Your whole art is garbage. I don't feel this way. I'm just yammering. Oh, it's fun though. Oh, I'm doing all right. Oh, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out with time. It'll get there. You know what? I'm just gonna go. Wee! Ooh, look at that! Oh, all kinds of crazies going on. Oh, it's getting uglier. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, Oh, it's terrible. It's getting worse. He's not stopping. He should have walked away when he had the chance, but he didn't. He's barely watercoloring. Me exhausted and hateful at what I'm doing is like me drunk, which is one reason why I don't drink. Well, no, I speak my mind when I'm drunk, and that's terrible. You don't want to hear that. Which is one reason why I don't get drunk. The other is being diabetic. I can't really drink, and I don't want to. When I was younger, it seemed like the thing to do to fit in, and I realized I don't really care about fitting in, and drinking is disgusting and tastes terrible. So why am I doing it? It's only fun when it's like a good like sangria or like a fruity wine or something, and you put like frozen fruit in it. That's great. That's wonderful. But drinking beer, drinking wine that's super dry and tastes like socks, gym socks. Ugh, why do people suffer with that? Like the only time I really drank when I was a kid, it was because I hated drinking so much. I wanted it over with as quickly as possible. So I got the stuff that was like a really high volume of alcohol. So I don't need as much because I don't want to drink a lot of it. And then it hit me so hard that it turned me off of it. Right. I never found that middle ground, but that's a good thing. I didn't want to need to depend on having it all the time. Right. So yeah, there's that. One of the things the guy did that was really interesting that, I'll do in future attempts, but here. He called it a scalpel, but it was just like a box cutter kind of thing. When it was dry, to get like the white caps on things, he used a blade and he scraped away some of the paint, which I thought was interesting as hell. Okay, I get it. To get like white caps and whatnot, instead of using like leaving white space and using like white paint, like acrylic or gouache or something, he just used a blade and he scraped away at the paint on the top to get it back to the white paper underneath, and it actually it worked. I'm sure it eventually dulls the blades. You don't want to use like one you care about, and it's going to leave like debris everywhere. He was brushing it off while he was doing it. It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Yeah, it sounds terrible, but it works. Anywhere you want like a hit of white, like the waves are breaking. Yeah. If you do too much, you fuck up the paper. So don't do a lot of that. But yeah, that was actually quite interesting doing that. See, you can see where I did too much and it started pulling the paper up. I'm sure I could just brush some of that flat. I even gave it some 3D texture from the white coming back up. It's an interesting idea. I didn't do it well, but it's an interesting idea. This one came out better than the one underneath it. My spur of the moment, try it on a piece of scratch paper I don't care about, looks a little bit better than that one. Doesn't look anything like... Oops, I hit it too quick. This, because, the guy's a professional. Oh, that's the next one. Let me share this link. So you go through and if you've got time, save this, check it out for later. look at this guy's video and look at all 5 of the paintings he did. We only looked at the first 2. And that was enough, at least for now. But yeah, I mean, check it out. The guy seems like a really nice guy. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Clearly he does, because it looks great. But doesn't mean I'm able to recreate it day 1. I'll have to go back to it, look at it, try it again. What's that? The next day? What am I doing? Looking at it and trying it again. It's all I'm going to be able to do is just try it again and again and again and give it a shot, right? So, yeah. Let's take a look at what I did today. I wasted supplies. No, I did stuff. Learning is never a waste. All of that because I wanted to do better than this, and I almost like how this came out better. Oh. It's okay. I mean, to be fair, doing it instinctually, I basically did this method without realizing it. I didn't do a base wash to get a base set of the color down and do more on top of it. I did it on pure white because I was like, hey, how else am I going to get white to show through? Especially since I didn't like bring white paint with me. And like, I like this. I think it would work if I did it right. It's bugging me that there's like no dividing line between the land and the sea. Even if it's literally just like sun. Just something like that, just to just stop doing things. Just stop. Turn it off. Okay. Again, come back to it later. Practice. Whoa, don't knock that off. I'll try it again in the future. We'll make it work better. Everything's going to be fine. I'm just going to do like a... Well, at the very least, adding that tiny bit of like a black trunk made it match the darkness in the water a little bit more, and that kind of made it look a little better. Clearly not perfect. I mean, I'm not trying for perfect, especially out the gate, but you know, it's okay. I didn't see a sky there. Well, the sky is white. That's what it's going to be. Even though water is not blue. You should have a blue sky to match the color of the water. But it's okay. We'll just assume the sky is blue above the image. Stop yammering. Stop. Relax. Eat. This is what our day was. I at the very least got paint on paper. I am at least making up for missing out like all of last week painting. So I'm going to stop there. I'm yammering. I'm not getting anything productive done. It's time to end. Get the hell out of here. Go relax for the rest of the night. I'm going to finish up. Let me see if anybody else is online who paints so we can raid somebody. Oh God, we were hearing ourselves on loop, and you were hearing it this time because I had my desktop where you could hear everything. Hey, look, some dipshit named Barely Watercoloring is painting. He looks like a jerk. Let's not raid him. Just kidding. Wow. No, there's one person on. I don't know who they are. Oh, no, wait. Have I followed them? I did, and they're offline. How did it show? Oh, they must have been online like a minute ago, and they're not anymore. That's fine. Let's look for somebody else. This person has 2 viewers. They are live. Let's see what they're doing. I love her already. Okay, she's been on 17 minutes, and I don't think she's going anywhere. Let's raid into her. She seems really sweet. All right. Her name is Elwyn. I love it. Let's copy that. Bonk. Let's go over here and hit raid. Search. There she is. Does she accept raids? It looks like it. All right. Goddess and anyone who might be lurking, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. My name is Bear, and once again, today I have very, very much been barely watercoloring, but I'll be back on Thursday trying to do better. We might revisit water again and try to follow up with more of that gentleman's tutorial video, or we'll find a whole new one, or we'll revisit the same 2 things we did today and try to do better. So no matter what happens, every day is an improvement. Just look at it that way in a positive light, right? Okay. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see y'all later. Bear out. Bye.